Hello, YouTube fam. How y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. Fam, I'm back. Me and my wife was out and about. We had to go get the real IDs and all of that stuff, so we had to pick a location, go far out to go get it, man, and, wait now in the mail. But we went to a couple of Ollie's and a couple of Rosses, man. And what I learned when I took my ass out here with my wife is that in these locations that we have here in the surrounding suburbs of Chicago, or, as you say, Illinois, from Aurora to Lockport, from Norwich to Aurora again, I found that you may find one or two pieces at these places, or you may not find a damn thing. And that's the thing that may get to you. You wasted all that damn gas looking for some stuff that other people found on their channel, and they telling you that Namor is and all of this stuff, and you got all of these different figures and Ollie's and Ross, and man, you go into these stores to really check them out to see if any of it's there. You finding some, but you're not finding the grails, like the Marvel Legends. You want Cable, you want Kazar, you want Wolfsbane, you want just the shit you want. Superior Iron Man. You want from the Build-A-Figure figures, you want Weapon of Vengeance, and you just want some of everything, man. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, man, you know what? I can't be mad at Ross Ollie's, man. You know what? I do come up with some stuff sometimes, man. But you know what? That's just the way it works, man. The cookie crumbles differently at times, man. Sometimes you find shit and sometimes you don't. Sometimes things are a go and sometimes they're not. Dude, you're not going to always find anything. That's why I don't do these hunt videos most of the time. Because, see, when I do them, they're realistic. When other people do them, it seems like they just otherworldly. You like, how they finding all this damn stuff, man? I look in my locations and they be like, bro, you already tried. Be proud of you for keep looking, but man, you need to calm down. You ain't gonna find nothing. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Shit, I know what it feel like to just be out there and you ain't finding a damn thing. But you know what? Those the breaks, bro. That's why I say if you can find something, enjoy it. Find some of the things that you do like about collecting, man. What I love about collecting, man, most of the time is the actual act itself. I like to go hunt and see if I can find any of this stuff. Yes, I'm gonna bitch and moan about it. That's what makes us human. But also, I like to get myself out there and take a look to see if I can find some stuff, man. Bridge the gap between where the people on the channel, these toy tubers, are at and where I'm at. And just see if I can find anything, man. That's the fun part. Or if I could find some stuff they didn't find. I found some stuff today. It was fun, I was talking to one of the managers at Ross, and I was asking him, I said, man, where's all the toys at? He said, man, come on, bro. Easter is Sunday. What's the day? I said, today Friday. He said, if you go into any grocery store right now, those stores are going to be packed because people are actually preparing for Easter. What do kids like most during Easter? I said, toys. He said, what you think? All those toys are gone. People get their kids Easter clothes and toys. And you get a whole bunch of damn eggs, sometimes with money in it, sometimes just dyed colored eggs, And I'm just sitting here listening to him, man. It all made sense, man, because I was like, damn, y'all don't even got Funko Pops no more. He said, well, Funko Pops haven't really been coming because they don't sell like that anymore. Most people pretty much gave up on them, man. You don't even see them in Target and Walmarts anymore too much. As deep as they once was. Man, even at GameStop, that stuff done slowed down. Yeah. And I can't be bitching and moaning again, like I said it. I found some stuff a while back. I found the Batcave, the Villain's Lair, that WWE wrestling ring, those model kits of Bubba Fett and Grogu and, those Dragon Ball Z. Dude, I found some stuff, the Blue Beetle superpowers ship, the Brainiac ship. Dude, I found some stuff, so I can't be mad. And that's what I've been saying for the longest. I can't be mad. I done found some shit. You can't be mad at every damn thing that you see. Sometimes you just gotta be like, man, okay, those the breaks for right now. I just keep on looking, man. Maybe stuff would appear later. And that's how I keep it, man. Sometimes you strike out, bro, and that's, to be honest, sometimes that's the best thing for you, is the strikeout. That makes you want to get out there and look even harder. You like, damn, Unc found it. Maybe I can find it, man. Dude, I was in Ollie's. I was looking behind each particular toy to see if I could find something. Something that I missed. I asked one of the associates, young lady, covered in tattoos. I asked her. I said, "Excuse me, are there toys anywhere else? All we have is toys on the floor. That's it." I said, "Excuse me." I said, "I'm not trying to give you a rough time or anything like that." I said, "I just asked." She was like, "Oh." She said, "She said, I'm sorry. That's all we have." I said, "You have a great day." She said, "Oh, you have a happy Easter." Dude, I'm not there to, have you looking in. I ain't got no time for that. If you say it ain't there, shit, it ain't there. I'm not about to go through all this extra shit, jump through hoops, look through in the back. I just don't get time. Like I tell you, some days I shoot the breeze with you. Man, please. I was getting a real ID today. Everybody that I had at the windows and every damn thing and like that, they wanted to talk. And they talked. And they talked. And Lord tell you, they talked. And they talked about some everything. So it made me feel that sometimes that's what people need. They just need for you to know that they're there. Like, look, I was talking to one Ross associate, and he was just telling me, man, he said, damn, it ain't nobody at the register. He said, I got a ring. He said, I can't even put none of the stuff out. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. The people that are actually supposed to be putting the shit out got a ring. If I got a ring, guess what? Nothing ain't gonna come out. You can't blame me and say, oh man, you ain't putting, what you're supposed to put up. I can't put it up if I'm ringing. Oh, well, you need to ring faster and put the stuff. How the hell that's gonna work? I'm the only one here. It's a whole Soul Train line. Dude, guy was breaking it down to me. I understood, man. Like I said, I took y'all along with 4 different places with me, man. And you see what I see. So there was no misinformation, no, that don't make no sense. Bro, I'm telling you, what you see out there is what you get. And, but it doesn't stop me or, make me upset that, they don't have what I'm looking for. I just say, look, I'm going to look a little harder. Maybe I could find something. These are 1 or 2 pieces, bro. That's how it looks. Sometimes you can't be greedy. Sometimes you got to go in and get what you want to get. That's what you're there for. You're not there for all that extra shit. Like I said, just don't have time for all that, man. I think people just don't get it. And sometimes you got to make them get it. It's just the way how shit works, man. You've been sitting there for the longest trying to understand some stuff, and now that you finally understand, you try to make it work. Dude, that's all you can do at this particular point in time is make shit work. I've been sitting here looking at my whole collection like, man, I just enjoy it. I enjoy what I got. I'm appreciative of it, man. Maybe some things ain't the way I really want them. But hell, it's getting there. Some stuff I got to work on. Some stuff is not put up right. Some stuff I need to open up and, put away neatly. Man, it's just some days, dude, some days are just like that. You going to be, in the midst of it and you'll be like, damn, man, it's a whole lot of shit I got to work on. Yeah, it is. It's just the way it works, bro. Just the way I've been looking at it, man. Like I said, I pick up stuff, man, and I be happy to pick it up. Like I said, I'm going to continue to pick stuff up, man. This is what we going to do. This is what this channel is based on, me. And like I said, man, all you can do is you. When you go into these stores, man, just be courteous a little bit. People do have bad days, man. Just don't make their days worse. If you can't speak, when you speak sometimes, it opens up doors, bro. I was talking to this young lady today, and I said, man, it ain't nothing back there. She said, what you mean? She said, hell, we putting the stuff up. I said, yes, you are. I said, it ain't nothing back there that I don't have already. She said, oh, say that. Say less. You know what I was like, I get it. I said, a lot of times people don't understand. When I tell people there's no new stuff, I already got this. So it ain't new to me. I said a lot of times people think I be trying to crack, and I'm not. It's just if I got it already, I don't need it no more. So me finding 10 of them ain't don't do nothing for me. I was thinking to myself, I said I'm about to do an eBay channel, eBay page rather where I sell stuff at. I might start a whatnot one too, where I'm gonna sell it. Dude, I might pick up some of the pieces I found at Ross and sell them on there. Why not, man? Maybe we all could get a deal or something out of it, man. We work it all out together. Pieces that you looking for, like I said, man, it is what it is. A lot of time people don't understand. This is a business at the end of the day, man. That's all it is. I'm telling people to live their life, live their truth. But I'm also saying, hell, it is what it is at this time. It's damn near every man for themselves, bro, in these wild streets, bro. These streets on fire. Shit, you got to look over your shoulder. You got to pray before you go outside. Pray when you coming back. Shit, you got to call and check on people all the time because you don't know what the hell going on out here. You got shit going on. You got Katy Perry and Gayle King going into space, coming back down in a capsule that looked like it ain't ever left the ground, man. They opening the door to a pressurized cabinet, trying to figure out why they ain't got no damn helmets on, no spacesuits on whatsoever. I'm trying to figure this bullshit out. I'm trying to figure out why y'all lying to me. To tell me why Jeff Bezos gonna walk up to the door and start opening the door and shit. Like he opened the door, bro. Come on, we seen it. You play. Dude, any other time that the capsule to the space shuttle come down, bro, tell me why when it comes down it be all burnt up and shit. It lands in the ocean. You got to let them sit there for a certain amount of hours because it's pressurized. And the thing that a lot of y'all are going to get mad at me is it never falls from the sky, bro. That's where they lied to you at. It comes from under the water. That's where they be at. That's where that space station at. Bro, I'm going to tell you something. There's some shit going on that you truly don't understand. You ask, why do everybody around the world lie? Why all these countries lying? Because they can. If you had the truth, nobody really need to know the truth. Why the hell am I telling you? You don't need to know. Only thing you need to know is what I need to tell you. And that's what we going to do. And that's what's been happening, man. People just been missing the mark. It's real out here, bro. It always have been, and it will always be real, bro. We miss that. We miss every damn thing else. We don't pay attention to none of that. We don't pay attention to they trying to get us into cars that actually drive themselves. And everybody like, oh, man, I fell asleep while I was driving me, man. That's what I'm doing, man. You know how I'm living. I get it. But that damn car got a mind of its own. It sees electric fields, bro. That's the aura in your body. That's what it's seeing. Your electromagnetic field. The car has one itself. Dude, I'm telling you, this AI shit is taking over, bro. They're talking about robots that's going to be actually taking our jobs in the future, bro. They already took half of the damn jobs. The thing is, I don't understand why people like, yeah, I didn't want to do that damn job anyway. That robot do good. If the robot doing everybody's job, that means you don't have a job. How are you getting paid? How you gonna take care of yourself? Ain't nobody thought about that. See, nobody thinking about none of this shit. You thinking this is gonna be some smooth transition where robots gonna, come in and start taking care of that thing and you don't gotta do nothing but sit on your ass. This is not how it's working, fam. It's real out here. Look, I don't know what people are trying to sell you, but I'm gonna sell you something different. It's time for us to pay attention. It's time for us to look and see what's really going on, because we never pay attention. We just sit back and just think everything's supposed to be about toys. I talk about your health. You start realizing that a lot of Americans all over the damn world, Americans, because we every damn where, you notice a lot of us are falling apart. We getting sicker. We coming up with all kind of illnesses that we didn't have before. We stay sick. We stay with a cold or, some sort of cough and shit. You trying to figure all this out. Yeah, because we wasn't there to understand what was really going on, fam. What's really going on is, at the end of the day, you gotta watch every damn thing. I was watching the news the other day, and I had to come to the conclusion, I don't give a damn. There's too much shit going on for me to worry about. I got my own shit. I got my own plate full of shit I gotta do. But that shit right there ain't one of them. That's what I'm saying. You gotta pick and choose your battles, man. Some of this stuff you just gotta say, I'm done. I'm done. I throw my hands up with this. I'm done with that. I'm ready to move to the next phase of my life. Living my best life. Doing the things that bring me joy. Not doing shit that don't bring you no joy whatsoever. See, that's what people are missing this at. This is what people are not catching it at. Man, this world done changed. Have you noticed time sped up? Dude, I've been talking about this shit for the longest. Since 1980, time has sped up a little at a time. It's done sped up. They talking about the monks who used to do the things with time. Talking about it used to be 24 hours in a day. Now it's 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You got 6 hours. Where did they go? You ever wonder, why am I getting up so early? Why is the day over so quick? Why do I leave work so early? Like, dude, it's like it didn't click in until you start noticing some shit was off. It's been off for a while. It's just, it took you a minute to comprehend what was truly going on, because, see, the thing is, they hide the truth from us. They tell you that the world is round, we got a space station in space, we've been to the moon. Have you ever seen the moon lander? Who took the damn picture of the guy when he landed on the damn moon? Who took that picture? I want to know who was there already to take the picture. Nobody ever asks these legitimate questions. It's like people think these are dumb questions. These are not. These legit questions. Dude, if he landed on the moon with the moon lander, you telling me this thing is made of aluminum foil, duct tape, and a few pieces of metal? Damn it, my hammock is made stronger than that damn thing. And you telling me I wish they had technology like this again where we could go to the moon? Again? Shit, we didn't have the technology in the beginning. Unless the moon is inside this firmament along with the sun. You ass out. It's a show called Paradise that comes on Hulu. You might want to check it out. That show itself speculates that in the not so distant future, there's going to be a tidal wave that's going to kill life on Earth. Basically, a giant 300-foot tidal wave that's going to sweep across the planet because a dormant volcano erupted and caused a chain reaction that made this tidal wave. And these billionaires create, for themselves this retreat within the mountain. They carved the city out inside of a mountain. You see what I mean? And, it don't even look like a cave. They got it looking like it's outside. You got clouds and stuff. You got this big old sky where they just got clouds and the sun, this big old thing around. It's round, look like a halo light, but it's the sun. Dude, I said, how much of this shit do they take from reality? How hard would it be for us to actually be those people? People say, man, the world is round. It's this and that, and the earth move. You ever seen when they were spacewalking for the first time and they showed the picture of the earth? Dude, that shit didn't look like the earth. I said, where's that at? That wasn't the earth. When he was like dangling out in the middle of, like outer space, dude, they were underwater. Dude, they never walked on space. They never went in space. They never did any of this shit. The satellites are not in the air. So if they showing him on the space shuttle, I mean, actually on this rocket and he's spacewalking, where all the damn satellites at? Why can't he see not one damn satellite that man, come on. Bro, like I told you, they lying. They tell you that Antarctica is just, ice over there. They lying to you, bro. Like I told you, the earth is not round, it's flat. There's a dome on top of it. Inside this dome, you got the sun and the moon. But there's other shit going on that we don't know because we weren't actually taught to know. At some point in time, they did a reset. And when that reset was done, it changed a lot of shit that you knew that was gospel. Fact. That stuff was changed. Dude, you look at right after slavery, like 20 years later, 10 to 20 years later, you see New York and you looking at all these skyscrapers. You're like, what the hell? Dirigibles flying around. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what just happened? But it lets people like, yeah, but those leaps human normally make. They make, astonishing feet and things. I said, man, you got to look at it just like this. When something smells funny, something is. Bruh, there were already civilizations here before us. Some of this shit that was left behind, they claimed it as theirs. They claimed it that they made it. They didn't make none of this shit. Half of these damn one-of-a-kind homes, these magnificent-looking churches, dude, that was from a different time. It wasn't from us. The pyramids, I don't even believe a human touched that. Dude, I believe a lot of this stuff is so far ahead of our way of thinking that we're lost thinking about shit that don't make sense. Man, it's crazy as hell. I know I went from talking about toys, bro, to just conspiracy theories. I wanted you to understand that there's a lot of shit going on. But till later, peace out.